Alrighty. Back online with more of this Pokemon Platinum run. So, the first thing I need to do is take 5 drinks. You didn't even try to catch this, you just got here at the beginning. Nice. Very nicely done. Did you get a YouTube notification, or did you just happen to notice, oh hey, that guy's streaming? Literally, he sat on the toilet and opened YouTube, and it was at the top of the feed. That's probably because of your proximity to the toilet. I feel like sitting on the toilet is the ideal place to watch one of our live streams. All these poured out here. Someone else is hitting those now. LOL. Or it's delayed. I hope there's not too much of a delay. You hit it once and it keeps going. Hit what once? What's getting hit? Or, oh, are you talking about this fucking, like, this thing here? I don't even know what that's about. Okay, alright, now I kind of understand what these are for. People click these when they want to give a very quick reaction to something. Okay, because I had no fucking clue, honestly, what those were about. Okay, I feel like this is the 5th one. I've lost track of how many of these I've poured. I'm just gonna go with it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's about like a 10-second delay stream wise. Alright, well, I've taken my drinks. Let's do a team recap. Team's looking a little beat up, I guess, because I ended the last stream with like a boss battle. Okay, so this is Are You Serious, the Giratina. Mudflaps, the Swampert. Mama Mints, the, I almost said Pupitar, but I know that's not it. Shelgon. Spludge, the Swallet, who I cannot believe has made it this far, but, you know, good on them. Fartbro, the Torterra. And finally, Scalia, the Growlithe, with the EXP share. Because it is needing to catch up pretty badly to the rest of the team. So with that done, okay. West from Jubilife. That is exactly what it says in my notepad, or my Word document that I have for this to keep track of all of my encounters. I also wrote at the front, take 5 drinks, and yeah, you need to go west of Jubilife. Didn't they change the XP share after this? It was Gen 6 when they did that. Gen 5, it's still the normal EXP share. And I feel like, if anything, in Gen 5, they made it really, really hard to level grind. I'm not looking forward to that Drunklocke for partly that reason. I think it's going to be a goddamn train wreck nightmare. Because, like, grinding sucks in that game. Although, on the other hand, I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a single grinding session in this game so far, which I'm kind of surprised by. Anyway, I guess I'm going west to Jubilife now. That's not the right way. That's not the right way. And I don't even know if I'll be able to run Gen 6 and beyond on my dinky laptop. I'll probably need to get a stronger machine for that. But I'm not going to worry about it too much now. So did I ever get Surf? What the fuck is going on here? Because I can't help but notice that west of Jubilife there is nothing except water. And that heavily implies to me that I need the Surf TM. So, did I get that? I did. Good. I'm teaching Surf to good old Mudflaps. Let's get rid of fucking weak-ass Water Gun, finally. Replace it with a move more than double as strong. It's hard to tell because optimization matters as much as game size. Doom runs better on my PC than GTA San Andreas. Interesting. Well, new Doom, that is. I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I guess, I mean, I think this laptop can run Doom. Then again, people have gotten, like, dishwashers and shit to run Doom previously. Okay, here's a battle. Ninja-esque. I might still try to get Pokemon Infinite Fusion working, though, for the next Drunklocke series. I really fucking wanted to do that game. My heart was set on that. I was so disappointed when it didn't run correctly, or when it ran too slowly. Then there's Skyrim, no optimization, and runs on everything equally, quote-unquote, well. Thank you, Todd Howard. You've done it again. I want this item over here. Wow, that was really worth the time. Outdoor fishing for the win. Oh god, for the win was still like a new thing back when this game came out. It makes me feel old. Fusion is awesome. Like, I've been watching Joel from Vine Sauces playthrough of that one, and just all of the fucking customization, all of there's just tens of thousands of possibilities in that game. I feel like you could play through that game front to back 10 times and not get everything. Pokemon-wise. So fucking good. But unfortunately, it took like a minute solid to load up areas every time I would go outside or inside. So wish they would do that sort of mod for DBZ Supersonic Warriors GBA. Okay, finally snapped out of confusion. I've never played that one. The one I played on, the DBZ game I played on GBA was, what's the name of it? Tenketsu or something like that? Okay, also, this is not working out. I need to go ahead and go into Mudflaps and use Surf. Oh, god fucking damn it. Alright, well, I'm just gonna have to muddle through here. I don't seem to have any good moves against this, and it keeps using confusion moves. And my confusion luck has just been dog shit. And it's using Iron Defense a bunch. All these stall tactics, dude. Here, hit up a Moo Moo Milk. Supersonic Warriors, it's super easy to get a ROM running. Downloaded it and gotten it running under 5 minutes. Hey, you know, maybe I'll stream that sometime. I want to stream more. And I know I've always said that. Like, ever since we kind of slowed and stopped altogether with streaming. But I really would like to stream more. Okay. So I don't seem to have a single good attacking move against this thing. Which is awesome because I can't switch out. You did stop for a bit there. Yeah. We just... I mean, I hopefully will not fall out again. But it's just that outside of the Drunklocks, it's really hard for me to get motivated to do much streaming because I'm a bit of an introvert and my job requires me to deal with people all day, and a lot of unpleasant people are included in that. And so by the time I get home from work, I'm just done dealing with people. Even like online people. And also, I've been doing this stupid... Up until recently, I was doing a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist where I was basically using progression series rules, and that's something I tried to do as a Let's Play, but it didn't work out. There just didn't seem to be any interest in it. Anyway, I gotta take a drink because I got a level. But yeah, I do want to start streaming regularly again. Yeah, I can see those things dampening the momentum. Yeah, it's just... And it's like, I had that problem at my old job, but the difference is at my old job, I got back from work at 1 p.m. So I'd have plenty of time to get some sleep or, you know, chill out by myself for a bit. Whereas I get home from this job at 5 p.m. So by the time I feel like doing much of anything stream-wise, it's kind of late. So I don't know. Hell, there's no reason why I couldn't stream. This job I'm working now is way easier than when I worked at Walmart. Then again, getting fucking shot in the nuts with BB guns over and over is easier than working at Walmart, so. Low bar to clear. Take that, Fisherman Miguel. Alright, let's go ahead and do some rearranging a bit here. Let's put you, Spludge, up in front. How did Walmart fail in Germany? I bet it probably has to do a lot to do with how they treat workers. It's probably just not compatible with Europe's way more relaxed labor laws or way more intense regulations on businesses. Because I know in France at least, their work week is shorter than ours, like mandatory. Flawed as any culture, the Germans have been very intolerant of bullshit and cults, and Walmart skirts those lines all the time. Ugh. Yeah, the whole Walmart chant thing. Man, back when I worked there, that was the most cringe bullshit, man. The word cringe was basically invented for the Walmart chant. Give me a W, W. Give me an A, give me an L, L. Give me a squiggly, squiggly. There's not even a fucking thing there anymore. Egg! Hello, Dr. Longhaired Duck. Welcome to the stream. When did you earn your doctorate, anyway? You're only 18 years old. How do you have a doctorate? Headbutt this thing. Considering I'm just a giant head, it shouldn't be very hard. These motherfuckers need to stop with the defense boosting moves, man. Germany is super pro-union. Another left view I hold, despite being called very right. And I like them because two douche groups of greedy fat cats with opposite goals is better. Balances everything out. Balances everything out. That makes it, that makes the middle a lot more tolerable for both parties than only one group, CEOs or politicians. Shh, the U.S. government doesn't know that. The sad thing is you could be talking about either your doctorate or labor laws in Germany. Okay, that's a drink. Okay, what can I melt this thing with? Actually, Mama Mints might be good to keep out against this, because you could just use Ember. But I'm going to use Spludge, because I don't want to have to use up a healing item in the middle of battle. And just let the other guy get a free attack on me. Let's use Toxic. Oh, dear God. Crunch. Love disc. Oh, it's aspiratori. I'll just use mud flaps. Excuse me. Just belching up blood over here. Just kidding. That'll be later into my 30s. When my alcoholism has seriously caused my body to degenerate. Alright, this thing's immune to crits, but considering it's a fucking love disc, I don't think I'll need crits to kill it quickly. Case in point. There it goes. That's a drink. My alcoholism destroying my family lives, but I'm having fun. You just described half of the episodes of Intervention. God damn it. This is a crow gunk, right? I'll just leave mud flaps out. And those other two need to heal. I'll heal them after the showdown. Just mud bomb this thing to death and move on with our lives. Fisherman Luke. More like Luke at how terrible my Pokemon are. Didn't I get like 1,000,000 of those or something? No. Here. I actually need to get more healing items. I'm way low. Nice goofy laugh. Lorsh, Mickey. Okay, so I just need Spludge and Mama Mints to go up a level, and then everybody will be evened out. Except for one Mr. Growlithe on my team. As soon as I get in the fucking water, here comes Gastrodon. Well, fuck, Mickey. It looks like the Jews are at it again. Yup. Did you see that one? That reminds me of that thing that happened in one of our fucking Cards Against Humanity games, where Reeps played a card that was something like Our Glorious Fuhrer Walt Disney herding Jews into Goofy's Garsh chambers. And that caused me to laugh hysterically for a good, 15 seconds. It's in the second Cards Against Humanity best of video. If you're curious. Damn it. Garsh chambers. Yeah, it's amazing. Reeps played that card and both me and him died for a good, forever. Maybe I should use a super repel. I'm thinking I should. Here we are. Is this a different route? Or what? What is this? Is this still Route 218? I think it's probably still Route 218. Yup. Alright, well, I'll battle these two trainers and then I'll move forward. Let it rock, it's the rhythm of battle! A lot of y'all seem to have tentacruels out here. And by a lot of you, I mean, well, 2 of you. But that's... Given that this is a randomization of 4th gen, that's very highly unlikely. Okay, you need another potion. Or, excuse me, moo moo milk. Oh, to not be in Gen 1. What a relief. Excuse me. Sorry. Better out than in, I always say. Oh, you motherfucker. Some of these randomized probably need more varied triggers. Like, it feels like it just takes an entire route and picks one random trend for the whole thing sometimes. I haven't really noticed that. But I suppose it can happen. I mean, water type is the most common type of Pokemon. So if I encounter a bunch of water types, it doesn't really surprise me that much. That's a drink. And that's a Swablu. Not too concerned about that. I mean, maybe I should be, but I'm not. Mama Mints, you're in. Like one more bite, probably. Yep, one more bite will do it. That's a drink. And a Fire Fang. Ooh, that's kind of good. Is Fire Fang stronger than... No, don't give up on Fire Fang, damn it. Let's see, I mean, it's stronger than Flame Wheel, but the question is... I mean, is Flame Wheel because Fire Fang... Okay, let's see. Fire Fang is a physical move. Oh, Flame Wheel's also... Okay, well, yeah, there you go. That's easy enough. Alright, anyway, better take my drink. Okay, now, here you are, Sailor Man. Scalia's getting very close to level parity. The only problem is, what am I going to do with it when it reaches that? Because Growl is still in a very good Pokemon. Skylar, I need to cook. Oh, don't you fucking endure at me, you piece of shit. Ow, my speed. Speaking of Walter White, speed. There you go. Sand attack, god damn it. Don't make the last little bit of your health impossible for me to get rid of. Okay, thank you. Azumarill. I don't really have anything good against that with Mama Mint, so I'm actually going to switch into Fart Bro. Oh. Excuse me. I at least covered my mouth that time. Azumarill looks like it wants a hug. And I can only hug it with leaves. Okay. Super Repel is still up, I believe. So I'm going to surf on this side of the water. Let's see what that... That doesn't get me fucking anywhere. Oh, wait. Okay, I'll take an extra Moo Moo Milk. Thank you. I mean, it's been out here so long that it's probably rotten. But I'll still take it. I don't think my Pokemon give a shit. And if they do, well, they can take the gastrointestinal fucking shit. The gastrointestinal fucking shit is totally what I was going to end that sentence with anyway. Also, a Caterpie. This is what breaks through my Super Repel. A level 31 Caterpie. Totally worth it. When are you going to grow up, Caterpie? You're 31. It's time you became a Butterfree and moved out of your mother's house. Alright, let's go over here. Oh, what do you want? Fuck you! Long time no see. Oh. You must think of me as a very strange person. Oh yeah, it's probably nothing to worry over, but the professor of all Pokemon asked you to be careful about these people that you've already had multiple confrontations with. Just FYI. Okay, can I fucking, like, fish here? Because if I can, I will. But first, I'm gonna heal my Pokemon. Okay, yeah, I definitely can't fucking... Oh, no. Whoops! Hey, fuck you! Oh, god damn it. My rival! Yay! And he's still a crackhead! Yay! And he's got a level 36 Pokemon! Even better. Okay, do I have any Pokemon that have any moves that are good against flying? Because Mama Mint sure as shit doesn't, and I'm gonna need to rely on exploiting type advantages if I want to get out of this. Okay, you have Ancient Power, and you're also a Legendary, so you're in. Are you serious? Alright, almost in one hit. Off by like a pixel of health, man. Stunky! This thing's poison, right? So let's send out Mudflaps and use ground moves on it till it's dead. Mud bomb. Come on with this shit here of not being able to kill Pokemon by one hit. Missing by like 1 pixel. Giraffe-rig. This is like normal Psychic, right? Okay, so I need to send out the... Does Mama Mince know Bite? Yeah. I was trying to remember if it was the one that knew Bite. Alright, Mama Mince, you're in. No, not urine. You're in. As in, you are in. And so even though this thing knows Bite, I don't think it's going to do a very good job against this fucking Giraffe-rig. Oh, God. Jesus Christ, man. Fuck. Okay, well, at least it landed a blow. Okay, okay. Maybe I can work with this. There's Moo Moo Milk. Moo Moo Milk, Mama Mince. This thing's just gonna keep spamming fucking Psybeam, isn't it? Ah! Should have swapped out. Should have swapped out. My problem is that I'm underleveled. I think I need to go ahead and do some grinding, actually. After all of this time. I think I need to go ahead and grind everybody up to, like, at least level 36. So what the fuck was that in again? Like, that was my Bagon? That was my egg Pokemon. That was a Pokemon I spent, like, 2 or 3 streams running around with as an egg. Only for it to be killed by... I should have sent out... Why didn't I send out Are You Serious? Are You Serious has a ghost move. That would have been perfect. God damn it, I'm stupid. I lost a... Oh, come on. Oh, that's right, because it's part normal. Okay, okay. Well, now I don't feel quite so bad. What a total pisser. Porygon Z. Normal type, right? Do I have any fighting moves on my team between any of these Pokemon? I'll just use Fart Bro. Maybe I should have just kept Are You Serious out. But I mean, I don't know if Porygon Z is just going to have normal moves. Oh no, what the fuck? Why does it have Signal Beam? Okay, I'm not losing another fucking Pokemon here. I'm not losing another fucking Pokemon. Signal Beam, my fucking ass. Spludge. Here, Spludge should be able to deal with Signal Beam fine. Yep. Signal Beam is apparently this thing's only attacking move. Alright, so just sludge it to death and we're all good. Or maybe not, because this thing is gonna fucking take forever to kill. Milk. And finish it off with a body slam. Alright, Mudflaps, you can take care of this. Yeah, I definitely think I'm going to train everybody up, like... I'll train everybody up to level 36. Alright, well that's one drink. I gotta go get my Red Bull to take my 3 punishment drinks with. Excuse me. Okay, 1 drink of Red Bull. Iron Island, okay. I'm gonna go back to that route with the Caterpie in it, and I'm gonna go train. God damn, I did, just deposit the goddamn... Alright, who wants to join the team? Let's see. Cabotops is rock water. God, so many of my Pokemon are fucking water types. Oh, but you know what? Primeape isn't. And I was just talking about how I need a fucking Primeape. Alright, you're in, Primeape. You're gonna be our fighting type. Let's see. I'll leave the EXP share on Scalia for now until... I'm going to train up the 4 Pokemon I've got as my steadies to level 35. Or 6, excuse me. Then I'm going to train up Scalia to level 36. And then I'll train... while I'm doing that, I'll use the EXP share on Primeape. Actually, you know what? Maybe that's a bad idea. I'll just put the EXP share on good old SCP-096 here. I don't remember why I called it that. It must have something to do with it not liking its face looked at. Anyway, where is Mute? What are the hotkeys? Yeah, there are no hotkeys for Mute. I'll just have to manually turn the volume down. Let's see. Just go to audio settings and just... It was right about here. Alright. Well, I'm going to do the thing I always do whenever I do a grinding session. And I'm going to bring up Discord, and I'm going to join the general chat in case anyone feels like keeping me company. Alright. Alright, well, Kecleon's here. These are pretty easy to train against because you can basically just control what type it is. I know Ghost is super effective, Dragon is super effective against Dragon, so that makes my job a little easier. And I also need to turn off battle animations if I want to make this go by quicker. So let's do that right now. Why haven't I had text speed on fast this whole fucking time? Hello, Delcatty. Wait, I could have sworn I must not have saved them. And now I've got to heal Are You Serious? Because this thing fucking poisoned me. Bag. Okay, where's full heal? And I will go back to the fucking options. Battle scene off. Yes, switch to the selected. I must have accidentally exited out and fucking caused it to be stupid by not saving my things. Ominous Wind? No, this... Oh, no. Come on. Stupid fucking sleep. Hey, look, it's a Caterpie. How adorable. How dead. This may not be the best area to train in. Don't have very many good high EXP Pokemon to beat down. Screech. Yeah, we want to learn Screech. Let's get rid of Focus Energy. Fuck that move. Alright. So second punishment drink coming up. Hello, Cognia. I'll go ahead and fly it. Kill this thing with that. Drifloon. Fly. Oh, joke's on you. All of my moves are attacking moves. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. That's a drink. That's my final punishment drink. And one alcohol drink. Very nice. Let's get this out onto a tray. Nice. Alright, that's my first beer down. I'm gonna go get another one. Where are you? Alright, back in a bit. Alrighty. Let's get back into this. Brief impromptu grind session. It's really great how RU Series has a bunch of like moves with tediously small fucking PowerPoints. Oh, come on. How did this thing burn me? Another full heal. Oh shit, a Charizard. Okay, well, I can ancient power this shit. Alright, I gotta go heal up now. But not before killing this Starly. Oh yeah, okay, this thing... Alright, I don't need to worry about it's typing because it doesn't even have that ability anymore. And also, would you stop with the fucking burns? I'm gonna run out of full heals at this rate. I'm gonna have to go back to that town that's got the fucking Mega Mall in it to get more. Unless they sell them at this town, which I don't know, maybe they do. That's a drink. God damn. Now, boop. Boop. My favorite Flash game? Well, shit. Pixelvator? I like that one quite a bit. If that qualifies as a Flash game, I don't know. It's a browser game. When I think... I just generally think of all browser games as Flash games. Whether that's accurate or not. But yeah, Pixelvator is a lot of fun. What else? It's a good, like bullet hell game. Bullet hell / RPG kind of deal. It's, well, basically you play through these levels, and whether you win or lose at the level, you get a certain amount of money for each bad guy killed, which you can then proceed to use to purchase upgrades for your ship. So basically, like you start out just being a slow-moving little ship with one little gun at the nose. And then by the time you get to the end of the game, you're firing bullets out of every fucking direction. And grenades, and you've got, like, auto heal, and you've got a lot of, like, you can take a lot of hits. So you got high health. Which is kind of what I like in games. I like those RPG kind of elements where you just get stronger and stronger and stronger. Yeah, I recommend it. It's a good game. We actually have a playthrough of it on our channel. But it's early in our channel's history where we still didn't have very good mic quality. So, but yeah, we did a co-op run of it, and it was a lot of fun. And you can play it 2-player. I guess I have some nostalgia, too, for, like, Cartoon Network Summer Resort, even though the games are objectively kind of bad. I remember loving them when I was a kid, because it's like, yeah, I can go and walk around and talk to my favorite Cartoon Network characters, and then I grow up and it's like, this is just a series of fetch quests. You're basically doing nothing gameplay-wise. And I mean, it was the late 90s as far as browser games went, when that was... So that was, like, not exactly something that you would particularly want to revisit, but we also did a playthrough of that series for the channel. And we had a lot of fun with it, too. Dragon Claw Z. Yeah, that one's definitely a classic. Alright, that is a drink. And then what else? You couldn't even read when you were playing it. I mean, basically since all you do is basically just run around and collect shit anyway. As long as you just keep talking to everybody and picking up everything you find, you're gonna beat the game even if you don't know how to. Like, I think Patrick and I were able to successfully complete the. No, wait, no, I remember now. We weren't. We weren't able to do the 4th episode. We weren't able to complete the 4th episode, even because it glitched out. But it was in German, and we still got pretty far, not knowing what the hell anybody was saying. Like I could only find the 4th Cartoon Network Summer Resort game in German. So I was just like, well, fuck it, that'll be fun. Let's just try to do that. Big Fat Awesome House Party. Can't say I recall that one. All right, one more level on Are You Serious until it gets to... Well, no, wait, 2 more, actually. I'm training everybody up to 36, not 35. It's probably a little after my time then, because by the time Foster's Home came out, I had stopped really paying any attention to browser games for a while, and I was too into, like, anime and shit. Alright, that's a drink. And I have now gotten a new move on my primate. True. Yeah, I was a 90s kid all the way. I was born in 91. So a lot of the stuff I have fondness for was like Dexter's Lab, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Powerpuff Girls, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Johnny Bravo. Just the classics, man. A little bit of Codename Kids Next Door. And then as far as like Toonami stuff, I was into obviously Dragon Ball Z. Then like Tenchi Muyo, watched a little bit of Outlaw Star. Liked a little bit of, I'll be honest, I kind of like Sailor Moon as well, even though, when I was a little boy, I would never admit that to a soul in the world. Actually, Sailor Moon was the first anime I got kind of into before Dragon Ball Z came along. Or, unless you count the Pokemon anime. Then I was pretty well into that. Because I love the video game so much, and then the Pokemon anime basically started out as a half-assed playthrough of Red and Blue. So it was like, oh, hell yeah, this is my jam. Yeah, that's a good one. Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, a little bit of Cowboy Bebop. They showed some good stuff on Toonami and Adult Swim in those days. First anime was Inuyasha. Yeah. Also, welcome to the stream, Magetsu. But yeah, Inuyasha is awesome. You can jump into voice chat. I'm doing a grinding sesh, so I'm in the voice chat. Then Yu Yu Hakusho, then Yu-Gi-Oh, then DBZ. So you kind of had a bit of a journey there. See, I went pretty much straight from Sailor Moon into DBZ. And then into Inuyasha. And I was never a gigantic Yu Yu Hakusho fan, but I always enjoyed it when it came on. It was one of those shows I partook in, but didn't really follow religiously. That's a drink. Alright, we'll see you in a bit in VC, Magetsu. Got me a drink there. Turn to that. Muting stream. Okay. I mean, it's literally just my voice right now. So.
Yo.
Hey,
I'm on hotel Wi-Fi, so my mic might suck right now.
you say you're audible, and that's really all that matters. But yeah, I'm in the middle of a grinding session because my fucking Shelgon got killed by my rival, so
Damn.
yeah.
It could have been the Ments.
Yeah, I know, the dream of Salamence has died.
At least you got a Giratina.
Yeah. If I lose this thing, I'm probably well, I'm not gonna be screwed, but it's gonna make things quite a bit harder.
Though it is Giratina origin form, which makes it less bulky.
Oh shit! I need to heal Giratina. Actually, I almost lost it there. Not really though. I mean, Charizard's using Dragon Rage, so I knew I could survive one more of those.
Yo, when you run into a Mon Dragon Rage at the start of a Nuzlocke.
Dude, holy shit! They need to have a thing for that in the randomizer where I think they actually do though. Like they have a thing where static damage moves or a move like Dragon Rage can't show up early on or at all, which I don't know. I like Dragon Rage in the later game as a way to weaken wild Pokemon when I'm really overleveled.
Like, I'll occasionally in the Nuzlocke, I'll occasionally use set damage moves to get them to a range where I can kill them in one hit, while also keeping them out of a heal range.
Oh,
Because
that's.
AI only heals when they're at certain thresholds. So
Mm-hmm.
if I know I can guarantee a kill if I use a set move first, a set damage move
Yeah.
to keep them right above the heal threshold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a savvy trick among experienced Nuzlockers. Um, of course, I'm not very experienced. Actually, I only do this once a year. I don't think I've ever actually completed a Nuzlocke on my own in real life, like just on my own
Completed
time.
about 80.
You holy shit! Do you have a hall of fame in your room where you just have all of your teams from Nuzlocks? Just
No, but I have a Hall of Fame for the standout ones from each of my Nuzlocke.
oh yeah. If that were me, I'd have 20 wall reigns up on my bedroom wall.
So yeah, Walrein is one of my Hall of Fame Pokemon. Walrein is one of the best mons you could get in a Nuzlocke.
Yeah, I have experienced that
Bulky
firsthand.
as shit, and the water ice is a phenomenal typing because water either a makes one of its weaknesses neutral. B has coverage against one of Ice's weaknesses.
Yeah.
Or C, both, in the case of Walrein.
But can it stand up to Ghost Dark Sableye with Wonder Guard?
Well, if it has a mold breaker, it can.
Hello, silly maniac underscore unfunny comma maybe. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Now that's a hell of a username you got there, if you don't mind me saying.
Oh, by the way, chat, can y'all hear me? I'm kind of in here because he's grinding right now.
Yeah. Yeah, how audible is I turned the computer audio up a bit before I started stream. I'm unfunny, but not skibbity toilet levels unfunny, says silly maniac.
So, yeah, as per usual, when I tune into one of your streams, I've got my own alcoholic beverage right now, but I did something unique with it.
What have you done? Have you put chemical X in it in the hopes of becoming a Powerpuff Girl?
I took some vodka. I have a Soda Stream machine. I carbonated my vodka.
Oh,
And
wow.
it burns.
Oh, I bet it does.
Burns.
Hey, Tuxedo, welcome to the stream. Tuxedo can hears. Tuxedo.
I sneezed. What was I saying?
You sneezed because of the vodka carbonated.
I sneezed while taking a sip. Went up through my nose and it was not fun.
Yeah, it sounds like that could possibly cause some burning behind your eyeballs there.
Alcohol going up the nose hurts. Carbonated stuff going up the nose hurts. I don't know if you ever laughed while drinking soda and had soda go up your nose.
Oh yeah, I have. It feels like your fucking head is gonna cave in.
Yeah, imagine that, but if instead of soda with the carbonation, it's vodka.
Oh man. I would rather not imagine that. I'd rather just leave that where it is. All right, that's a drink. Anyway, we got.
By the way, I have cherry fago as a chaser.
Much clown love. Are you down with the clown?
I'd fuck a clown, bitch. Wait, what? Yeah, I gotta be careful. I gotta remember I'm married.
Well, maybe that's a little hint for your wife there. Like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Next time you show up in the bedroom, be sure to look like Ronald McDonald.
Make sure she looks straight out of that one Disney show, The Doodle Bops.
Get right up in that pussy.
Yeah, man. She should just dress up. I'll have her dress up just like that one clown girl who's actually a dude from the Phoenix Wright games.
You've just given me a reason to play the Phoenix Wright games.
Yeah, there's a character who's a dude dressed as a clown girl, and she has balloons in her shirt to make it look like tits.
The guy shows up in front of his dad dressed like that, and his dad is like, I don't know what shames me more, the clown part or the woman part.
Speaking of, have you seen the banned episode of Pokemon that was never translated?
There were. Yeah, I did see that. I didn't see it, but I've seen the screenshots where he's just straight up mocking Misty, just standing there 13-year-old Misty, just standing there lamenting her lack of breasts, while James is just holding his fake knockers up to her. Fuck you.
The memory serves, he actually adds more air to make them bigger, just to flex more.
I need to watch the full episode, even if it isn't translated. I'm sure somebody made a sub of it. on the internet at some point.
Oh yeah, there's subs for the whole Pokemon series. Like most anime, you can watch it either dub or sub. The sub is the better option, though, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, James' voice is pretty iconic, being that it's the
In the
same
dub.
guy. Yeah, being that it's the same guy that voices Brock and Kaiba and
Yeah.
some narrator guy
Even
from
if-
One Piece. That because I watched a One Piece sub compilation the other day of all the instances where the N word is used by the Japanese voice actors by accident. Like
Yeah.
all the instances
Like
where they say something that sounds like the N word even though it isn't.
Yeah, like the Japanese word for meat, which I'm not gonna say, is like almost sounds almost exactly like the soft AN word.
Amazing.
Also, when I didn't find out that like James and Jesse were like canonically a couple until I was like 20.
Are they canonically a
just,
couple?
yeah.
Well, I didn't find out about that until I was 32, right now.
The Pokemon Adventures manga confirms it, which is technically canon to the anime.
Well, they're certainly not a very good couple. I mean, unless they do all of their couple stuff off screen.
Like they have a kid.
Is it Meowth?
No, Meowth gets jealous of the kid in one chapter though.
Oh, that's weird. That's awesome,
Yeah.
but that's also weird.
I'm gonna be honest. I like the dubs James better because like this is probably gonna sound weird because I'm like straight, but like he was like one of the like first like what's the word? Like he was like one of the first gay coded characters I ever saw, and I think that like characters like James, Scar, all that stuff are like partially why I'm so open minded despite having a conservative belief set.
So, what makes you a liberal Republican? Oh, James from Team Rocket. Why do you ask?
Like the thing is like in terms of social issues, I'm more left leaning. But in terms of like economic and like other stuff like that, I'm more right leaning. But because like the monetary stuff is what affects me more, that's why I choose to identify with the Republican side of my beliefs. Because like money.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you ought to join that there Libertarian Party and never ever win an election again. Because I don't think they've won anything beyond like what? Mayor or something in one really small town?
I'm pretty sure that the only third party president in American history was Teddy Roosevelt.
And that he only became third party after he was president. Like while he was
No,
president, he was definitely a Republican.
he was third party as a VP, but his views were more right leaning. Or like right leaning for the time. Back then, like right and left had like they had like the opposite beliefs of what they have now. Like
Or at least, well, Republican and Democrat meant something different back then.
yeah.
I think right and
Like,
left were still kind of similar, but Republicans and Democrats both had their liberal and conservative wings. Whereas nowadays, if you're one party, you got to be one wing or the other.
like something that like if you actually look at like pre civil rights movement, like it was like the Democrats and Republicans, like basically the Democrats and Republicans today had like swapped roles back like ages ago.
Yeah.
Like
And
I don't
even
know if I
then,
could say this on YouTube. I don't know if I can say what I'm thinking on YouTube or not.
well, then don't say it. Please don't get my
Like
stream taken down.
it's not anything like bad, but like I know that like YouTube is like very very liberal, and they might not like what I'm thinking, even though it is like historically a fact.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. YouTube doesn't probably give much of a shit about my live stream, considering
All right,
it
what I was thinking
consistently
was
gets
that
single digit views.
what I was about to say is like most of the founders of the KKK were registered a Democrat at the time. That's like how different the beliefs were at the
Yeah,
time.
no, I mean that's just common sense. Everybody knows that. Yeah, I mean, because back then the Democrats were the party that was pro-slavery in the South, and the Republicans were the party that was pretty much literally founded on the basis of getting rid of slavery. Like they replaced the Whigs as the second major party on that one issue. And I mean,
I still
it took a while for the transition to complete because even as far back as like let's say Franklin Roosevelt, really party didn't matter quite as much as just region. Because if you compare a like Republican of that time from Vermont to a Democrat from Texas, it's basically the same nowadays as a Democrat from Vermont and a Republican from Texas. It's the exact same like liberal conservative dichotomy, at least on social issues. Like
yeah.
economically, the South could be pretty liberal sometimes back when Democrats were in charge, but by the time Reagan rolled around and the whole Dixiecrat thing completed, where like all of the Southern Democrats switched over to the Republican Party or just retired, then the whole conservative liberal split as we know it solidified.
Speaking of Reagan, he's like probably like the most like a polarizing president in history. Like
Well,
there are some people that love him, some people that like don't love him. I'm kind of in the I'm it's weird. I'm kind of in like both boats. Like I like a lot of stuff that he did, but I also hate a lot of stuff that he did.
like as a liberal like left-leaning person myself, I don't share his economic views or social views for the most part, but I also can't help but kind of respect him because you know, he right about halfway through his administration, he had a major turnaround on like nuclear weapons and our relationship with the Soviet Union, and he kind of decided, well, maybe we should just go ahead and work with these people a little more. And he he
Yeah, that's
he
what I like about him, but what I don't like is how he like kind of like well, he wasn't directly involved in it, but like he kind of just like didn't stop his like cabinet from filling low income communities with crap.
yeah, yeah.
Like even though he wasn't personally responsible, he could have easily like put the like he could have put a lid on that pot if he so
It doesn't.
wanted
It
to.
seems like between that and Iran Contra, he wasn't very good at reining in the people in his cabinet.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get another beer. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I've returned.
You know what I find crazy about modern politics?
Everything.
Like, so many people are like all in on one side, but like they don't seem to understand that like you can have like a nuanced views. Like I've had
Yeah,
so many
polarization
people
has gotten out of control.
like I've had so many people be like completely unable to comprehend the fact that I'm a pro-choice Republican. Like it's not that hard to understand. Like uh, why do people seem to like be so baffled
I
when
mean,
like
it's not even that uncommon in terms of elected Republicans. You look at like the Northeast. A lot of the Republican governors they elect in places like Vermont and Massachusetts are like that. That's one of the key things that allows them to kind of get elected is being not crazy on fucking social issues. And, people up in the Northeast like voting for Republican governors sometimes because their legislatures in the state are so overwhelmingly Democratic. It's like, well, we kind of feel like we need to balance it out a little bit. But nowadays, that isn't even really a thing anymore, with a few exceptions.
another thing I hate about modern politics is everybody has to be fucking right. They can never be wrong.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like
I
I just don't
completely agree with that.
I just don't get that mentality. Like I used to be a Trump supporter, but I'm nowhere near a Trump supporter anymore.
It's a lack of self reflection, is what it. A lot of it is too is kind of this twisted version of sunk cost fallacy, where it's like, if I admit I've been wrong all these years, it'll be like I've wasted years of my life supporting this person who I'm no longer able to defend on any reasonable level. And I feel like that just messes with people a bunch because it's like, Trump got people so fired up in a way that no other politician has really done up to this point. Not even Obama really got people, to the point where they're buying Trump's merchandise and just covering their vehicles with bumper stickers of him and shit. He's the closest thing to a cult that politics has had in a very long time, or maybe ever in America. And I could see somebody who has spent like thousands of dollars on this guy's merch and spent all this time on Twitter every single day defending him and just exalting him as the greatest thing that's ever happened to American politics. How do you admit you're wrong at that point without admitting that years of your life were wasted?
Like, the thing with Trump is like he's one of the more like complicated presidencies we've had. Like he's a complete fucking douche. But like you can't really it's hard to deny that he did get a lot of shit done.
I mean, I guess in terms of it's not so much that he got a lot of shit done, but his wilder impulses were reined in by people that just wouldn't do some of the crazier shit he wanted to do, like pull us out of NATO or like pull us out of all these other major agreements with our allies or repeal any kind of it's like the few things that he managed to get through were things that people generally agreed needed to happen, like getting rid of NAFTA. People now generally agree that that was the right thing to do. Or like getting some kind of relations started with North Korea, even though that turned out to be a big bust because North Korea was just stringing him along. At the time, I remember there were even people on my side of the aisle being like, well, maybe he's finally fixed this shit. After all these decades, maybe meeting up with this guy and trying to work with him and rein him in But, now you look at what's happening and it's clear nothing's really changed all that much.
Like, one of the few things that I still legitimately liked about Trump's presidency was like, unlike Obama, who kind of just like let like terrorist groups fester, Trump actually like sent like attacks their way and like you don't really hear about like ISIS and stuff in the news, whereas during Obama's presidency, you heard some new like terrorist attack or like journalists getting beheaded every other week.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I can't really argue against that. I haven't seen anything of ISIS lately, but it's also like I think a lot of the thing about Trump too is that we got lucky with a lot of that shit. Like he was this close, like within a millimeter of getting us into war with Iran. Like I think he even at one point during the Khashoggi thing or whatever that guy's name was, where he drone bombed their fucking defense minister. He had
Hassan Soleimani.
Soleimani. Thank you. I was thinking of the fucking Saudi Arabian journalist or Saudi Arabian American journalist thing, but yeah, Soleimani. He was this close to having fighter jets go in and like do some do something in Iran or not in Iran, but like to Iranian troops or something, but then he stopped it at the last second. Which that's one thing I'll kind of give Trump credit for. He was very war averse. Like he talked a lot of big shit, talked a lot of big game, but he didn't actually he definitely wasn't like George Bush. It got us into so much shit, it was incredible.
Like what I like about Trump is like he killed the people that needed to be killed and tried his best not to get like civilians involved. Like sadly, some civilians did get involved. That's what happens. Like every time stuff like that happens, because like bad people hide behind good people. It just is what it is. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, no, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think even like didn't Osama when we were in the process of killing him, didn't he like hide behind one of his wives or something?
Yeah.
Something I seem to remember.
Also, even like I don't think there's been a single president in the past 100 years that hasn't had to get their hands dirty with civilian lives to get to a threat.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, technically, any president in the last 100 years could probably be tried for some war crime or another, technically.
Like
But
one thing I give Obama a lot of credit for is like he was like good at keeping the peace, though even he faltered at points.
mm-hmm.
Like I don't think we'll ever have another president like a Lincoln or a fucking Kennedy or a Roosevelt.
I mean, not currently, probably not, because like all of those presidents were able to unify people
Yeah.
in a way that and nowadays it's like pretty much any president we elect is going to be in the negatives in approval rating because one side of the aisle is going to hate them no matter what they do. Independent, and so they're relying on independent voters and the unanimous support of their own party to keep them above water approval wise. And if independents have one thing to be pissed off about, or if you don't have 100% of your party support at all times, you're going to be in the negatives. Because 40% of the country is going to hate you no matter what you do.
By the way, I'm probably gonna end up skipping this next election.
If
Like,
it's
I
if it's a
normally vote.
rematch of Trump versus Biden.
Yeah. If it's a rematch between them, I'm either going to be voting third party, not voting on all, or sending in a joke ballot.
Vote for me.
I will. I will send in a. What was the word that was like super popular when it happened? When it started being a thing? I forget the word for like sending in a ballot
Uh,
in the mail.
mm,
There was a specific word for it, but I can't fucking remember.
absentee or something.
Yeah, absentee. Do you know that in one state, D's nuts, at like the height of the fucking D's nuts meme. In one state, D's nuts got so many absentee ballots, and it was actually the leader in that state at like 13% of the vote. I forget which state it was.
I think I vaguely remember something like that where people were worried, like, oh god, there are going to be so many joke votes for D's nuts that it's going to spoil the election for one or the other candidate, which of course didn't happen.
It only really like a joke only got like a majority in like one state.
I don't know.
Harambe also was a very popular one.
I wonder if it's because like our system doesn't really support a robust three-party system, but I wonder if that's also what it's going to take to get us out of the rut we're in. Is having some kind of third party to shake things up enough politically that people stop just being on one side or the other.
Oh, by the way, remember like when a lot of ballots for the 2016 election leaked?
I don't remember that. Or, well, I mean, a lot of things
Like
happened during 2016.
there was like 30 million leaked ballots, and one of the ones that like caught my eye was a man named Joseph Janowski. Do you want to know why that ballot caught my eye?
Yeah, sure.
It is my great grandfather who died in 2002, or yeah, my great grandfather who died in 2002.
And you're absolutely sure it wasn't just like somebody that happened to have that name?
No, it was the exact same name, exact same middle name, exact same birth state.
So it would have been an incredible coincidence.
Yeah.
Unless it was like, maybe some other woman was giving birth in the same room as that guy's mom was giving birth, and then they were like, hey, that's a good name. We should give our kid that name.
You want to know the funniest part about that fraudulent ballot?
What's up?
It was voting for someone that wasn't even an option. It was voting for Ben Carson.
In 2016, when the guy wasn't involved in politics beyond like being a Trump supporter, I guess. Or like
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell. Yeah. No, yeah. That was. I keep forgetting that in 2020 the Republicans basically just stopped any other Republican from standing any chance against Trump. Not like they would have anyway, but they pretty much edited a bunch of their rules state by state to where a third party bid couldn't possibly fucking, or not a third party, but like a challenger in the primary couldn't possibly win. I seem to remember. I don't know. They wouldn't have won. Like I said though, they wouldn't have won anyway. I mean, Trump was too popular among Republicans at that time, and still is. See also a one Ron DeSantis who is getting his ass kicked in every single poll I've seen in the last 2 months.
Like, who's that one dude? I think his first name is like Nicholas or something. Who's like an actual like white supremacist who's like friends
Nick
with Kanye.
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah,
Nick
Nick
Fuentes.
Fuentes.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's running.
Isn't he like 20 something? He can't possibly be president.
He's trying.
Well, good for him, but also fuck him.
Like, he's like much worse than Trump.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. I'd take Trump over him any fucking day of the week.
Like, Trump said like some racist shit, but like I don't think he's like actually racist. If that makes sense.
Well, no, it's I think he's racist, but I don't think he's any more racist than a lot of the people on either side of the aisle, whether or not they care to admit it. I mean, he's a 70-something-year-old man. Think about the time he grew up in. He's going to be
racist, but he's not like dangerous racist. If that makes sense.
that. Yeah, yeah. I'll go ahead and kind of. Well, I think he's opportunistically racist in that he'll support voter ID laws that systematically disenfranchise voters of a certain color, primarily because they are, have a tendency to vote Democratic. But I don't think he's hateful racist so much as it is just like, well, how can I use the division of the races to my advantage? Which is kind of a businessman way to think.
Or like someone like Nick Fuentes is like.
No, he's legitimately.
Terrible.
No, he's legitimately a terrible fucking racist human being, and also sexist. Like, I think he's one of those people that thinks like women's right to vote should be revoked or something.
Oh, he is.
Like, he's one of those.
He also thinks the age of consent should be lowered to 14. Like, ew.
Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. Like, that's one of those things that's so suspect when somebody says that. Like, you can't be supporting that for any other reason than the fact that you want to fuck a 14-year-old. It's like being in favor of legalizing the right to throw bags full of puppies into the fucking river.
Like, even Japan, a country that is very traditionalistic and old world, recently changed their federal age of consent to like 18.
Yeah, because it's just scientifically valid to do that. At that point, you're sexually mature enough to make those kind of decisions, or at least like.
Well, the only reason that like it was so common for like kids to like reproduce in like ancient times was because like back then like the life expectancy was just so short that you had to have kids young or else you wouldn't survive childbirth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd pretty much. If you're living in a world where you're gonna be dead more than likely before you hit like 50 or even 40, if you're gonna sustain a population, you might as well go ahead and just dive in at a young age. But I don't know. Would that have been the mentality back then? Would they have had any kind of nuance on like? Well, I guess they
probably wouldn't have seen age as an issue because like most people, like the average life expectancy of nobility was like 50 years. Like peasants were like lucky to live to 30.
That is brutal. You can imagine it got so much worse in the fucking like bubonic plague where like people were just dropping dead in the streets left and right.
You also gotta bear in mind that like while childbirth nowadays is just like a big inconvenience, back then it was like a life-threatening thing.
Yeah.
So, like the reason they would have kids so young was like they needed to be in like their body's prime. So like survive.
Yeah, because nobody really knew how to like deal with the after effects of such a complicated ass, like, if the baby comes out even just a little bit weird, like feet first or whatever, that mother is gonna die.
Yeah, because like they had to have the kids young back then. Because like when you're young, your body just heals better.
Yeah, it heals faster. You can take more damage and still come out of it more or less the same. It's
Like around the time you hit your like early 20s is when your body starts to like rapidly slow down its healing process. Like a cut that would like heal in like 3 days as a kid, by the time you're like 25, would take like a week and a half to heal.
mm-hmm.
Like it's actually insane how fast healing slows down.
And that might have had a lot to do with even earlier than that, just like the way humans kind of evolved through natural selection. The people that were able to survive critical injuries young were the people that got to go and reproduce, whereas people that had weaker immune systems or healing antibodies or whatever and got hurt at like 16 or 17, they were fucked. There was no 911 to call.
Back then, surviving until your brain was fully developed was a feat. Nowadays, it's a given.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like, and like a lot of like people, a lot of like the creeps who want to like lower the age of consent laws, try and use like those old world arguments, like those are old world arguments. Uh,
Yeah,
that
it's like,
was back when like the common cold was a lethal illness.
and that's honestly like going back a little bit to politics. It's kind of the same reason why I think that like people that make arguments against um people that make arguments against any kind of gun control by citing the Second Amendment are being kind of ridiculous, because gun technology back when that amendment was created basically amounted to a gun that you take 30 seconds to fucking reload between shots, as opposed to guns that like can hold enough of an ammo reposit to mow down a room full of people before they need to be reloaded.
It's also the same of like nowadays how do I word this in a way that doesn't make it sound like I'm defending slavery? It's like I'm not.
Is
Like
this going to get into like the DeSantis school curriculum thing?
no. It's gonna get into like people who try to like lessen the accomplishments of the founding try to like lessen the names of the founding fathers by saying that they owned slaves. But like, thing is,
Well, yeah, I mean, that was common back then.
yeah, like it was like innocence of the time. Like they didn't know that owning slaves was wrong. Because like, even though it's like terrible to say this, like
Well, I
they
mean,
didn't think of black people as like people back then. Which like
well,
that's fucked up. But like in their own like how do I words? It's like innocence of the time. If that makes sense.
there was nobody around to tell them that that was the wrong way to think. It's the same reason why,
Yeah.
they were a lot of the founding fathers were deist. It's because they couldn't imagine a world. They couldn't imagine a universe that didn't have a god, because how else could everything have gotten there? This is before like Charles Darwin sort of created and popularized the theory of evolution. So obviously, anybody is going to think, well, I mean, a god had to have done it. Because otherwise, how would we have shown up? How would we have ever existed? What other explanation could there be?
Like they didn't even know what germs were back then.
Yeah, they just figured it was evil spirits or bad blood or something.
Like they kind of knew how diseases work, but like the most they knew about the human body was from like torture.
Yeah.
That's like pretty much the only reason why like medieval people knew how the organs work.
Yeah, and again, it's fucked up to, think about now, but it made sense for them. It may, and people take that for granted. People think like that people have always had access to the virtually limitless knowledge that we have access to, but most of these motherfuckers were just shitting in the woods and farming and eating and sleeping and fucking. And that's basically all they ever did in their lives.
You can't really apply you can't apply modern values like ancient people.
No, you can't. You really can't. It's like trying to apply them. It's like trying to apply our morality to like chimps or whatever, in a sense, or any kind of animals. It's like, how would they know any better?
You also got to think about it. Like back then, like there were no free libraries. There was no internet. Like the only people who were like educated were like rich.
Yeah, like literacy was in the single digits percentage-wise among the population back then.
Like, even though it may seem like everybody, like most people nowadays are fucking idiots, even the dumbest people now are a lot smarter than the bottom line of back then.
Or even like the bottom 80% of people back then would be dumber than pretty much the dumbest motherfucker.
Well, they probably weren't as dumb as people today, but like just they had a lot less access to information. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean they were capable of learning, but they couldn't be expected to because the books hadn't been written yet. The information hadn't been thoroughly disseminated. And
public education wasn't even a thing until like the 1820s in America.
Yeah. So I don't know. People give the founding fathers a tough break for owning slaves, and I mean, even I will say though, even back then there were a lot of people, and a few of the founding fathers who were like, yeah, maybe we should get rid of the slavery thing. It's kind of fucked up if we're gonna say all men are created equal and then turn around and have slaves.
Like,
but
even like Thomas Jefferson wanted to like get rid of slavery, but like he just knew that like the economy at the time was like dependent on it.
Yeah.
Which like sucks, but like that's how it was back then.
Yeah, and if he'd tried to get rid of it at that point, there would have been such a because the another thing is like America was so fragile back when the founding fathers first, there were so many things. It was so experimental, and there were still so many things that were wrong with it. There were so many bugs that needed to be worked out. It felt like at any point the whole thing could just fall apart and collapse. So the idea was like, let's just compromise as best we can to hold this thing together long enough for it to actually work. And, they were proven correct ultimately because eventually we did solidify into more of a cohesive unit by around I think it was around 1812 when people started to identify more as Americans as opposed to just Virginians or Mainers or Massachusetts, people from Massachusetts. Like, people started to think of themselves in a more continental sense as opposed to state by state.
Also, something I'd like to get off my chest about the transatlantic slave trade is I feel like the Western world is like over demonized for it. Like the history books try to paint it like we went to like their land and like ripped people away from their homes. Like that's not really how it was.
Yeah, like, weren't there
There were
slave dealers
people.
in Africa?
Yeah, like most slaves in the transatlantic slave trade were sold by people in Africa.
Yeah, I seem to remember reading something about that at one point. Like, there were African, like, slave traders over there, and it's like, hey, people would do anything to make a fucking profit, even if it means selling their own kind. If it means getting wealth and prestige of any sort. You alive over there?
Huh?
You okay?
Yeah, I just spaced out for a sec.
Too busy thinking about being a slave trader in Africa?
I'm too busy thinking about being a slave. Shit.
We're all slaves to the rhythm, to the grind.
I'm a slave to my penis. Why did I say that?
Because you're you. I would fully expect you to say something like that. Like, if there was a Chat GPT version of you, that would be the first thing you said.
Well, it's not so accurate as to say I'm a slave to my penis as it is to say my penis is a slave to my wife.
To your life or to your wife?
Wife.
Like LIFE?
WIFE.
Oh. Well, that's a hell of a wife right there.
Yeah, by the way, I'd like to say that everything is 100% consensual. Like, I may jokingly say sometimes that she is always in charge, but in reality, there's equality in our bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Gender equality from one bedroom to another. Have you noticed, like, the last 2 or 3 times you've been in one of these Pokemon streams involved in any way whatsoever, the discussion has turned to politics?
Huh.
Like, I feel like that's happened a lot with us lately. We'll get into, like, political, philosophical discussions.
Like, the thing is, like, I don't mind, like, normally I get super heated with politics, but, like, we're both, like, we're both, like, what's the word?
Open?
Yeah, we're both, like, open-minded. It's like, when you have people that are, like, neither of us really, like, we don't take it too seriously.
Right, because you shouldn't at this point. I mean, that's the break that I need from it every now and then, is just the ability to actually just discuss something with somebody.
Yeah.
Just fucking have a dialogue and don't, like, insult each other all the time and shit. Besides, your views, even if you're conservative, your views usually have some reasonable justification. Like, I can't really pretend like I don't see where you're coming from. Whether I agree with it all the time is, another story.
Like, I will admit, some of my beliefs are a little bit old-fashioned, but, like, none of my belief, like, how do I word this? I don't hold any beliefs that would like place anyone below me based on intrinsic qualities. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, no, I completely feel you.
Unless they're a pedophile.
Well, I feel like when it comes to pedophiles, and I can't believe we're going to get into this discussion now. I think that people who have those urges but are actively trying to fight them and trying to go to therapy and not give in to those urges, I still think they ought to be kept away from any place where children gather if they admit to those feelings. I think that legally they need to be, tracked and kept away from schools or playgrounds, but I don't think they ought to be just dismissed out of hand for trying to be better people.
I
You
love
know.
it. Whenever I like make a joke at the expense of pedophiles, like I have nothing but respect for the people that are actually trying to like fix themselves. It's the people
Exactly.
that like actively act on their urges that I make the jokes at the expense
Oh
of.
yeah, those motherfuckers need to be put in a cage. Absolutely. Like people that disseminate that kind of pornography or try to kidnap children or try to groom children. Those people absolutely need to be put in a fucking box. But, I got nothing but respect for people who are born with that urge or have gotten that urge through childhood trauma that typically includes having been a victim of a pedophile. Like for those people, I think they ought to be supported if not necessarily again allowed to be around children. In the same way that you wouldn't put an alcoholic near a 12 pack of beers, you wouldn't put a pedophile near a kid, even if they are actively trying to be better. That urge can overwhelm them, and that's a risk that can't be taken.
Wait, I got a question. Like, what are your beliefs on like if there's like a form of media, like be it a TV show or like a music artist or whatever, that you really like, but they turn out to do something like a completely incorrigible. For me, it depends on it's like varies case to case, but like in general, I like to separate the art from the artist as long as like their incorrigible act doesn't directly tie into their art.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Yeah,
Like
absolutely. I
for
think
example, one of my favorite anime is Rurouni Kenshin, but like the guy who made the manga turned out to be a complete pedophile and was like selling a massive amount of like CP. But like there is like it doesn't show at all in his like work, so I'm still able to enjoy it. Whereas like R. Kelly, even though I liked his music, I just can't listen to it anymore because like he himself and his music are like so intertwined that it's like impossible to separate them in my mind.
right, and it's because he's one of those artists that was so like personal that so much of his music was
Yeah.
about himself. Like, well, if you make something about yourself and you turn out to be a horrible person, it's kind of hard to listen to you, knowing that you're a horrible person and that you're writing so much about yourself. Like, we can't really
But
sympathize with it anymore at that point.
did you hear that album that was just an hour of him trying to defend himself?
Uh,
He has a
no.
whole 9-minute song where he says where he like tries to like guilt trip the 14-year-old girl that he pissed on.
I heard that as pissed off at first, and then I remembered, oh yeah, we're talking about R. Kelly. It's pissed on.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
No, I'm just saying, like, because your mic
Oh,
is a little muffled. I heard it as pissed off at first, and I was like, oh, the girl that he made mad by raping. Oh, wait, yeah, R. Kelly. He literally pissed on them. You are speaking the literal definition of pissed.
yep. Yo, uh, should I write a diss track on R. Kelly and name it Drip Drip Splash?
You should name it R. Kelly got that drip, drip, drip from his dick
No,
and its
I'll
urine.
name it Pissing on R. Kelly. I'll lyrically piss on him though.
Yeah.
Not literally.
Nah, save that for a cellmate.
Yeah.
How
And
long
then
is he
no,
gonna? How long is he supposed to be incarcerated?
I think like last I checked, his sentence was like 40 years. I think.
Holy shit!
Actually, let me check. Cause like I don't like a lot of times celebrities get their sentences lowered.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Oh, it's 20 years.
oh, that's still a pretty good. That's still a pretty good chunk of time. He's gonna be in there through the prime of his life. If that hadn't already passed, like, how old was he when he went to jail? Was he like 30 something, 40 something?
Oh, there was an update in February. A federal. Oh, never mind. It got repealed.
Wait, what happened?
R. Kelly avoids add-on to 30 years. So he's going to be doing 30 years. But like, this is the
Ah.
part that disappointed me instantly. A federal judge has rejected a call from prosecutors to keep R. Kelly in bars until he is 100. So like,
Well,
prosecutors were originally trying to get him.
I mean, a person could theoretically live to be 100. I mean, Strom Thurmond did it.
Like looking at it now, he's gonna be getting out by the time he's like 80. His original sentence was like 50 years, but they said, fuck it, we'll give you like quote unquote 19 years served, even though like I don't even think he spent a single day in a jail cell, so he shouldn't be getting any years served for the trial.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, at my job, I where I work, putting ankle monitors on people. There are motherfuckers that did as much or less than R. Kelly did who get like 99 years.
I swear, just because he rich.
Yeah, that's what it is. Money talks in this country. And usually when it talks, it says, have mercy, please.
Also, like, this is just my personal opinion, and it's probably wrong. But, like, I feel like, um, how do I say this?
Very aggressively.
Like, I feel like with all the, like, recent, I feel like all the recent, racially targeted, police stuff is leading to, like, black criminals getting lesser sentences out of fear of being accused of state level or federal level racism.
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like that'll probably be more than balanced out by the many other communities that pressure their judges and their prosecutors into continuing to give black offenders outsized sentences. Like, there's still plenty of places where that mentality holds up to this very day. Like, mostly small counties.
Can I just say I'm glad the three strikes rule is gone.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you there, I think.
Like there are people that try to defend it by saying, "Oh, the three strikes rule applied to everyone," but like it was only enforced on minorities. Like, there's like a problem. Like, there were only like 20 white people in his. There were only like 20 white people that ever got like a life sentences from the three strike rule. Like the vast majority of people who got life sentences from that rule were minorities. While on paper the law had nothing racial, on paper is never what anything is legally.
Nah, yeah, it isn't. And in that rule, was that rule in the like crime bill that Biden sponsored while he was in the
Yes.
Senate? Yeah, I feel like that's something
Yes.
he fucked around with.
Like, I feel like Trump was like racist, but like I feel like a lot of people overlook Biden's racism just because like it's so easy to hate Trump. Like,
That
guys
and
don't really
that
like Biden.
that and Biden's a Democrat, so people tend to think of Democrats as the racially progressive party by default, even though there's plenty of fucking old racists and shit still in the party. Like, even back when Obama was first elected, Harry Reid said something, called him colored or something. Called him
Well, like,
I think Harry Reid called him a colored person at one point. Not insultingly, but he said that.
the last thing that I find weird that like a lot of people overlook about Obama's presidency is like a lot
Go.
of people overlook the brain please work. A lot of people seem to overlook the statistics of deportation during Obama's presidency.
Yeah, no, I remember that was a controversy among leftists back during his first term, where it's like he deported a lot more people than Bush did. Like his I guess immigration and customs enforcement was a lot stricter. I think Democrats do that sometimes just to try to impress Republicans. Like, see, we can be tough on it too. See, we can be hard-assed when we want to be, but then they go overboard with it. Kind of like going back to the crime bill, kind of like that. Like, Democrats have been seen as being weak on crime since the Reagan administration. So, of course, Bill Clinton and Joe Biden and those guys want to prove that they are tough on crime. So they come up with shit like the three strikes rule and other stuff to kind of shore up their credentials. But what they don't realize is they're always going to be tarred and feathered that way. It doesn't matter if they're Joe Manchin or if they're Bernie Sanders. The Republicans are always going to use weak and soft as an attack line against Democrats. So they might as well just follow their own political instincts rather than try to impress the right wing by trying to outdo them.
By the way, I don't know if I ever told you this before, but my family is from West Virginia, and like Hillary Clinton had a speech in West Virginia where she said the most fucking, like, excuse my use of a slur, like I'm neurodivergent, so I think I say it. She said the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my life. She was like talking to people in West Virginia, like trying to plead her case to West Virginia to get their electoral votes. She said she was gonna put the coal mines out of business.
Yeah, maybe not. That's not really gonna hook, line, and sinker the West Virginians.
Like half their industry is like fucking coal mines.
What did she do next? Go to Texas and be like, I'm gonna put that beef industry out of business. I tell you, no more beef for anyone. And then go to fucking California and be like, fuck you and your oranges.
As much as I hate Trump with hindsight, I still think he was like nowhere near as like bad as Clinton would have been.
I think Clinton would have been an okay president. The problem was that she was such a shit campaigner. Like, like she was the perfect person for Trump to go up against because she inadvertently proved every one of his points about the deep state and about, you know, modern politics as we know it, and just like one thing I'll say about Trump is he at least feels genuine. Like he's one of the most he's genuinely an asshole, which, you know, I would take somebody who's genuinely an asshole than somebody who's obviously an asshole but trying not to be, trying to pretend like there's something they're not. Like Trump never pretends to be anything other than what he is. And in a kind of perverse way, I respect him for that because it's like, you know, I can't entirely hate somebody who is just being what exactly they are.
Like, he is just unapologetically himself.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm a shithead. What do you got to say about it? It's so much better than Ron DeSantis, who tries to be like, you know, who still tries to be the focus group, focus tested kind of politician, but is so clearly an awful person that it's like, it just comes across as off-putting.
And like Nick Fuentes is out here trying to say, "Oh, I'm not a white supremacist."
Didn't he literally say that he was a white supremacist at one point?
He specifically used the word separatist, like that's any different.
Sure, Nick. You keep telling us that, buddy. Big guy. Old hoss.
So funny to me when someone says, "Oh, I'm not a racist. I'm just a separatist." Like, why do you want to be separate?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's because the races aren't compatible with each other. They're equal, but they're not compatible. Well, then you're racist. You think that people are so different from you that you can't live with them. It's like,
Oh, the races aren't compatible. I don't know, man.
yeah, I mean,
Very fucking mighty compatible to me, if you know what I'm saying.
yeah. I mean, I've never. I mean, I grew up in a small town in Texas, so we had like a single-digit black population, but I never had any problem with the problems that I had with people were always just dumbass redneck white people. Those were the people I had issues with. And much of the same holds true up here in, you know, I live in a college town now with a much more progressive group of people, and still some of the biggest assholes I've met up here have been fucking redneck ass white people. It's almost as if it's a cultural thing as opposed to simply a race thing. And also, this grinding session is grinding.
Also, can I just say that, like, I don't think there's anything like, how do I word this? Like, there's like a lot of people who try and like say that people who have like racial like preferences when it comes to like what they're physically attracted to, they try and call that like racist, but like I don't see it as that. 'Cause you can't really control what you're attracted to.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's no more racist than being like, I prefer blondes to brunettes. It's like, you like what you like. You're attracted to whatever you're attracted to. You can't be anything other than who you are when it comes to that. Like it's it's like, if you force me to try to be attracted to somebody I'm not attracted to, how is that any different than forcing women to, you know, be attracted to men that they aren't attracted to?
Like, for example, not being attracted to someone, like, how do I word this? Like, I personally am not really how do I say this in a way that like doesn't make me come off?
I could make a drinking game out of how many times you've said, how do I word this in a way that doesn't make me sound horrible?
Like, I am not attracted to like a Middle Eastern people. However, that is not the same as me saying Middle Eastern people are unattractive. Like, there are some there are some really hot Middle Eastern women. It's just not what I'm looking for. If that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, basically. There's a reason behind it. There's a logic behind it, I guess. I mean, I don't know. What is it you find unattractive about Middle Eastern women, generally?
Oh, nothing really. I'm just more attracted to like East Asian women. That's just like my type.
Ah. So it's more
Yeah,
like it's more like they're just not at the top of your tier list.
yeah. Like they're not unattractive. It's just there's other stuff that I'm more attracted to.
Is this terms of like just sheer physical appearance, or is there any kind of cultural?
Oh, it's all physical.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that case, I can understand. Also, I'm having hell for some reason with like the chat window continuing to pick up my fucking mouse movements. Or not my mouse movements, but like my keyboard. I wasn't having that issue earlier, but it started to prop up in the last 10 minutes to where like I'll be trying to move around and then my fucking YouTube window or my YouTube chat window will start responding to those movement commands.
One of the main reasons that I'm like attracted to like specifically East Asian women is like I just like East Asian hair. It's like straight and black, and I just really like that. I don't know why, I just do. Like I really like the hair. Sounds so weird.
It's an aesthetic thing, you know. It's no different than liking certain kinds of paintings, I guess, or certain colors you like better than others, just on a purely aesthetic level, not, you know, culturally or suggesting that different colors are inferior.
Like, by the way, once again, I'd like to reiterate, just because someone isn't attracted to something does not mean that they are saying it is unattractive.
Yeah.
Attraction is subjective and like out of the person's control.
Like put it this way, would somebody yell at a black woman for only being attracted to black men? Probably not, right? Nobody would, because, I mean, that's what they're into. But plenty of people would probably yell at a white woman for saying that they're only attracted to white men.
Yeah, that is the case.
So, just let people like what they like, and as long as they're not actively trying to impose themselves on people they're not attracted to in a way that, like, takes away their rights or their humanity, just let everybody stay in the lane that they want to stay in. It's no different than women who are attracted only to men that are tall, you know, and not liking short men. It's just something that they prefer.
In my opinion, a lot of the racism a lot of the modern racism in America is due to the fear of discourse. Like nobody wants to like address race, but it's like something that needs to be addressed in the current socio-political climate.
Yeah, and I feel and I feel like it's one of those things that's kind of like like taking a shot or just going to the dentist and getting it over with, if we would just do it and just have that conversation and just kind of be honest with each other, we'd probably all walk away from it being like, well, okay, that wasn't so bad. I feel like, everybody was pretty reasonable there. But because everybody has to kind of shield themselves and couch everything in kind of vague rhetoric, I don't know, it comes across as worse than it should, and it also just, I don't know, allows people to kind of read things into people's intentions that weren't meant to be read into.
Also, I don't want I don't like to say this because it kind of feels like I'm playing a victim card, but I feel like it's how do I word this? As a white person, I feel I have to be a lot more careful when I talk about race, even though I know that I'm not racist. It's just something that I feel like I have to be unnecessarily careful when I talk about.
I mean, in terms of sheer, intellectual discourse, perhaps, yeah. But then it's one of those things where, it's more than balanced out by the fact that, I feel like part of the reason why black people are so defensive, or people of other races that aren't white in America, is because they do have to deal with an outsized amount of bullshit. So, if you're somebody that has to deal with a bunch of bullshit and all of a sudden somebody comes to you and tries to suggest that they're being treated unfairly because of a discourse thing, it's like, well, what the fuck? I have to be afraid of every cop I see, but you're worried about discourse? I think that's where a lot of it comes from at times. It's this feeling like you have to put up with bullshit that other people don't have to, and then those other people still try to make you feel like you're victimizing them. Or
on the topic of white privilege, can I just say that one of the most bullshit arguments is hey, if there's white privilege, how come I'm poor? Privilege isn't always a money thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's not always a money thing. But and then on the other hand, though, it's well, imagine you grow up poor. You're a white person born into a poor family, and I've seen a lot of these kinds of people in the small town I grew up in. You're born poor, you live poor, you live in a trailer your whole life, you eat fucking Vienna sausage and ramen on a regular basis, and all of a sudden you try to have a conversation with somebody and they tell you to check your privilege. And it's like, what privilege, motherfucker? I ain't ever had a break in my life. My parents were both drug addicts. I grew up in a fucking trailer. I had 5 other siblings I had to take care of because my parents were too strung out. I feel like people forget that race is just one aspect of a human being. That person has all kinds of life experience that you might have no idea about.
As someone who's experienced this is gonna sound weird, but I've experienced life from both sides. I've lived in both a predominantly black community and a predominantly white community, and I will say that something that I've seen firsthand is even though it may not be initially visible, white privilege is a thing. There are certain doors that are open automatically, whereas a black person may have to open it themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, It's kind of like I saw some video at one point of the person who made the video illustrated it as like, okay, we're gonna have this race between all of one person of each individual race, but we're going to put some of them more behind than others to kind of illustrate the advantages that some folks are born with over others. And it's like, yeah, you can be as good at running as you can be as good at something as a black person, as your white counterpart, but when you're starting so far behind, you're closed off from the same opportunities. It's like,
a prime example is I've like had job interviews before where like there's been a black person that was clearly more qualified than me, like for a retail position, who was clearly like a better pick for the job than me. But like I was the one that got the job because at the end of the day, because I'm white, the company saw my face as more like marketable.
yeah, you're inherently more trustworthy to the masses just because of that aspect of yourself.
It's like in a country that's predominantly one race, like the majority is always going to have the advantage because like more people can relate to them.
Yeah.
At like an interpersonal level.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Like you are more likely to be comfortable around someone similar to you than someone not similar to you.
Okay, I think I figured. God damn it! I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think I figured out the issue. It's because it's gotten dark in my living room, so I keep hitting the wrong buttons and causing the fucking controls to screw up.
Oh, I got a light up keyboard, so.
Yeah, I don't have a light up keyboard. I'm pretty much going by the light generated off of my computer screen. And
okay.
it is only being, I mean, I can get up right now and go ahead and turn my fucking overhead light on. I'm gonna wait until I have to get up for my next beer to do that though. And I'm just gonna try to persevere. I'm gonna pull myself up by my bootstraps. Or my sock straps, because I'm wearing socks right now.
Also, something else that I've noticed is that, like, one of my friends who's black has, like, had a lot of, like, has been pulled over for racially motivated reasons a lot of times. But, like, even though we've never left our neighborhood, whenever I'm in the car with him, he never gets pulled over.
Oh, so it's like as long as there's a white person there looking in on them, they can't be doing anything wrong, right?
Yeah, which I think is complete bullshit.
Right. Yeah, of course it is. Anyway, I gotta go get another beer. So I'll be right back. I've returned.
Alright. So, something I should probably say about myself is I'm a very pragmatic thinker. Like, whenever I'm about to do something, there's a question I always ask myself.
What would Jesus do?
No, the question is, what can I gain from this? What is, like, the benefits of this? Like, that's, like, the main reason I, like, don't hate people for, like, intrinsic qualities. It's like, hating takes a lot of energy, and, like, it gets me fuck all.
Exactly.
So I just don't do
Yeah.
it. Like, I can just put my energy to better things.
But I feel like there's a lot of politicians that feel that way, but the key difference is they find out that hate does get them a lot of benefits, because if they espouse that hate, then there are a lot of people who are blinded by said hate who will vote for them, which is kind of a twisted, perverse version of that line of thought, where it's like, well, I don't actually hate these people, but if I say I do, then I'm going to get all these votes from such and such demographic. Therefore, I should at least imply that I hate these people without directly saying it, so that I don't piss off so many people that I become unelectable.
That's why I'm a welder.
Are you?
Yeah.
I saw a thing a while back, like there were welder memes or something. Don't do welders have their own memes?
Kind of. Like, they're memes that, like, there are welder memes, but, like, they fucking suck, and, like, the only people who, like, get anything out of them are, like, welders, which kind of, like, ruins the point of the meme.
Yeah, they're supposed to have a universal kind of universal, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, relatability, I guess. I don't know. Something like that, but only there's a better word than the one I'm thinking of. I wish these Charizards would quit using fucking Dragon Rage on me. That'd be
Like,
real fucking good.
One of the welder memes I've seen, it was like the scene where like a Squidward had like a deflated face, and it was when you're given a soldering gun, but the circuitry is made entirely out of tin. Like, no one's gonna fucking get that if they don't know how metal works.
I don't know why I'm laughing at it. I don't get how that's.
Tin has too low of a melting point to be soldered. Like, it would just liquefy into a glob.
Oh, okay. I kind of get it now. Okay, I got this little mini bottle here. From Barstool Sports. This Pink Whitney. It is apparently a vodka. It's a flavored vodka. 30% alcohol by volume.
Ooh, chug.
I'm not gonna chug it, but I am gonna take a sip.
Let me know how it tastes.
It's gonna taste like shit. I already know, but down the hatch.
Well, that's vodka for you.
Okay, that wasn't that bad, actually. Actually, it kind of just tastes like pink lemonade with hand sanitizer.
One of those things funny when I like, even though like the legal age is like 21. My mom has been letting me drink since I was like 18. Like, funny thing is, my apparently my taste and alcohol are completely different from hers.
Oh,
Like, she
wow.
always like whenever we go out, I used to like take her recommendations. 'Cause, like, I didn't know shit about alcohol. She would like
Sure.
always like give me these IPAs saying, "Oh, these IPAs are delicious."
Oh,
I
I
don't think
fucking
I've ever enjoyed a single one of them
I
IPAs.
I fucking hate
And then
IPAs.
she told me that gin is terrible, and gin is like one of my favorite alcohols.
Oh wow.
Like I love gin.
Oh, that's another
Like
drink for me.
especially like some lavender. I don't know if you ever mix lavender with gin, but it's so good.
All right, I gave up on leech seed. I hope that was the right move. All right, so I'm gonna drink this, the rest of this little
Oh,
vodka shot with some Cayman Jack margarita mixed in with it.
you ever mix vodka with sriracha?
I have not.
What about like vodka with like Frank's Red Hot?
I'll be honest. I the only hard alcohol I've had has come from these little mini bottles that I mix in with other beers.
Oh,
So I have not actually mixed any of these hard alcohols with non-hard alcohol things such as Frank's Red Hot or Sriracha.
like I have like a really high alcohol tolerance. Like I don't really like stuff like beer because like I don't see the benefit of it. Like takes like I could have like I could like down a 6 pack of like Coors and like be like slightly buzzed.
That's kind of
So
my thing though. Is like I like getting slowly drunk, like feeling the buzz slowly, incrementally increase, as opposed to going straight from zero to fucked up. Because then I can enjoy it longer. I can watch a movie. I can.
when I go to like bars, I usually get to like in Connecticut, a lot of bars have like a gentleman policy where like they cut you off like after a certain amount of alcohol, regardless of your demeanor.
Yeah.
So it's like very common for me to get cut off before I'm even drunk.
Yeah, that's kind of a bitch. If you have a high alcohol tolerance and they treat you like you got a regular alcohol tolerance.
But you've seen the shit that I drink. And like I'm able to stay coherent and type while drinking that.
I mean,
Like
I haven't
really super
literally seen
coherent.
it, but I know that you drank a lot of stuff that's got a ridiculous, like Everclear esque amount of fucking alcohol in it.
Like for like 2 years straight, my drink of choice was a Polish rectified spirit that was like 196 proof.
I never dreamed this
Like
grinding session was gonna take so fucking long.
which like uh, that Polish rectified spirit is pretty much damn near close to pure alcohol. It's like I believe that like if my math is right, like 196 proof is like
98.
fuck yeah, it's like 98%. I was like too drunk to like 98% alcohol content,
That's
which
goddamn.
like
Might as well be just drinking gasoline.
oh by the way, when I drink that hard stuff, like I don't chug it the way I chug like vodka, like regular vodka or like gin.
Mm.
I pace myself with that stuff. That stuff is actually dangerous in high quantities.
I would assume so, given that it's literally 98% alcohol. What is the other 2%? Like fucking. Oh, we got to make sure that this other 2% counteracts the other 98% of this beverage.
Oh, if it was 100% alcohol, it'd just be fucking hand sanitizer.
I've had a woman in my office to get an ankle monitor for their alcohol consumption who said that they drank hand sanitizer and it was like their best drunk because it would immediately get them like blackout state.
My friends, he had like a legal mandate to like stop drinking.
God damn it. God fuck, what the fuck is going on?
Like, he legit had like a legal mandate telling him that he wasn't allowed to drink alcohol. But like, he found a hilarious loophole. Listerine.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's another one I've heard of. You drink Listerine, I mean, it's mouthwash. You can't bar somebody from buying mouthwash, I guess. What the fuck is...
He would just be like taking shots of Listerine. It was hilarious. Like, you could tell he's been drinking because like he would smell like mint from like 10 feet away.
Oh, that's sad, but that's also funny. Which the best things in life often are sad and funny at the same time.
And then his mandate ended and he just started smelling like booze again.
That is that is one of the darkest things I've heard in my life, at least in the last few weeks.
Don't worry, he's a lot more responsible now than he was when he was like a full-on alcoholic. He's still a bit of an alcoholic, but he's not like self-destructive levels with it. Like before, he was like downright self-destructive. Like he would drink until he forgot how to walk.
Forgot how to walk.
He also used to like drive while drunk, but like nowadays he doesn't do that. He has enough sense not to drive when he's drunk.
Well, that's good because if he lives in a state that's anything like my state, that's a very expensive proposition.
Like part of his mandate, like he was like fined like 18 grand and he's still paying it off.
Shit. Ow.
Like Connecticut doesn't play when it comes to like alcohol, like drunk driving stuff. Like it's very uncommon to get prison time for it, but like the fines are like low-key worse than imprisonment.
Yeah, that seems to be my experience too. It's like, not personal experience. I've never gotten a DWI because I have sense. But, God damn it! Why does it keep clicking out of the fucking window?
Like the lowest DUI charge I've like seen in Connecticut is like $1,100. Like
Lowest,
the average
Jesus.
DUI charge in Connecticut is like two grand. Though like just driving while drunk isn't the only factor.
Yeah.
Like how drunk you are and like what area you were drinking and driving in. There's a lot of factors to it.
I would imagine so.
Like if you're like driving in the middle of nowhere, like you'll only get like a $2,000 like $2,500 fine. Like if you're like in a school zone, that's when you get like I've seen it like the highest I've seen in Connecticut was like a 38 grand fine.
So it's 1,100 to 3,800.
Well, from what I've seen, but like there's probably a wider range than that.
Jesus. Now
Oh,
that...
by the way, I didn't mean 3,800. I meant 38,000.
Oh,
Like, it
fucking
was
hell. Jesus.
like my family member who I said got a really bad DUI charge. He got fined 18 grand and he's still paying it off. That was like 6 years ago.
My God. Like,
He was
shouldn't they at least offer an opportunity to, like, take a program that'll allow you to, if you pass the program, they'll alleviate the fees a bit? Like, isn't the whole idea behind punishing somebody for a DWI that they, you know, stop drinking?
well, that's the thing. They're legally required to give that option, but Connecticut has a lot of corruption.
Oh, good. I'm
Like,
glad to hear that.
specifically, like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to play the political side, but like, there's a lot of like corrupt Democrats in Connecticut.
Well, of course. I mean, because, like, that's the dominant party. So there's going to be corrupt members of the dominant party.
Like, like two of the Connecticut representatives have been under suspicion of embezzlement for like 3 years.
And they're probably guilty, if not definitely.
Oh, they're definitely guilty. But like, they're allegedly using their embezzled funds to get like the best lawyers. It's like that's like a bit counterintuitive. Like, is embezzlement really worth it if you're putting most of the money into a law defense?
Yeah. See, that's the thing about me, though. Excuse me. Is like, I don't give a shit if a motherfucker identifies as Democrat or Republican. If they did some fucked up shit, they're fucked up. And I'm not gonna play that team sport shit where they're like, oh, well, they're a member of my party. That means I have to just let it go. No fucking chance. Like,
Same with me.
like, I'm trying to remember a specific. It's like, I'm not gonna just, like,
We're not blind followers.
exactly. Yeah. I was thinking of a specific example, but I've forgotten it because this fucking Charizard keeps using Dragon Rage on all my Pokemon and I'm tired of it. Like, why did I decide to grind in an area where there's just a bunch of fucking Charizard using fucking Dragon Rage? Pretty much guaranteeing that they're going to knock my Pokemon into the yellow within like 2 hits. I keep having to go to the fucking Pokemon Center every 2 minutes.
Hey, at least you have a hot pink hair girl begging you. You keep having to go to the hospital. I still think "Hope I See You Again" is still like the most out of pocket line for a fucking hospital.
Yeah. It's like, are they still saying that in the modern Pokemon games?
Oh, I don't know. I stopped playing after Gen 7. Well, I
me,
stopped playing
me
during
too.
Gen 7. I couldn't even finish the games.
Yeah, me
Like,
too.
I got sick of getting stopped for like 10 minutes every like 20 minutes.
Yeah, for a fucking cutscene. Like, cause I totally play the Pokemon games for the fucking plot.
Like, in my opinion, the best plot there ever was Gen 5, was the first Gen 5 games. Like, the cutscenes were really cool, but like, they were actually doing stuff. Whereas like Gen 7 cutscenes are like just a static conversation.
Like
Whereas
my,
like in Gen 5, when they did the big cutscenes, they actually had a really cool visuals with it, like like them fucking freezing over the Dragon City, or like Getsis raising N's castle to take over the Elite Four. That was such a cool moment because they did something that Gen 7 doesn't. They did the show, not tell.
I mean,
Like,
for me personally, it's like I prefer. My favorite plot is Gen 1, where it's just like, okay, I'm a kid that's just going out on my own to start my own Pokemon adventure, and then there just happens to be this Pokemon mafia that keeps getting in my way, so eventually I just decide, hey, might as well go ahead and deal with them in between strengthening my team. Like, I love the fact that your Gen 1 character doesn't really have a moral code beyond, like, just keep battling. It's just like, just a tank. Just an endless force that just keeps rolling through.
also, you want to say that, like, Pokemon moms are, like, the fucking worst?
Yeah, they have to be. Otherwise, how would no fucking mother with any ounce of self-respect would allow their child to go out and do this shit.
Like, my mom wouldn't let me ride my bike off the street when I was 10.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let me leave our home street without her supervision. It was like, Pokemon mom was like, yeah, my 10-year-old can fucking travel the world. Like, I'm sure you won't run into any dangerous pedophiles that, like, caught a hypno just for, like, the sole purpose of kidnapping children.
To be fair, I mean, it's theoretically possible to finish Gen 1 in less than 2 hours. So that you can be like a kid, like at 8 in the morning, be like, bye, mom, I'm going to start my Pokemon adventure. Come back at 10 a.m. Hey, mom, I completed my Pokemon adventure. I am now the king of Pokemon. Boy, that sure was easy.
And then you run into that one kid that knew where to find the Mewtwo. Then you get stopped.
Or you find the one kid that's using Gen 2 Pokemon while you're hanging out in a cave all alone. And then they just kick your ass.
And, like, back in the day, finding Mewtwo was actually a feat. Because, like, there was, like, a lot of kids, when I played Pokemon, didn't have, like, access to the internet.
Oh, yeah. So they
And,
didn't
like,
know to
you
go
had,
back
like,
to they didn't know to go back to Cerulean Cave.
nope. And, like, and back in the day, the people I did the Mewplex, myself included, were, like, the coolest kids in school. Like, everyone's like, ooh, can you trade me your Mew so I can complete my Pokédex? And I'm like, sure. And they're like, oh, you want me to trade it back? And I'm like, nah. Because,
Nah.
like, I knew how to do. But the funny thing is, as a kid, the only method of Mew glitch that I actually knew how to do was, like, the super convoluted Safari Zone method. If only I knew the easy method.
I didn't know any method back when I was a kid. I didn't even catch Mewtwo when I was a little kid. It took me until like I was like an early teenager to have the patience to play far enough into a single save file of Pokemon Red to be like, okay, found Mewtwo.
The only person in my class that knew how to do the Mew glitch in any sense. Like, no one else in my class knew how to find the Mew. I was like the coolest kid in school.
Too cool for
Because of it.
school, even.
It scares me how back then when I was growing up, like being good at Pokemon was like cool. Now it's like that kid like Pokemon, let's bully him.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like that varies from region to region. I feel like even if when I was a small kid and I was playing Pokemon, there were still a lot of kids that were like, "Why are you playing video games, you geek?"
Also, Yu-Gi-Oh was super popular in my school, but like I didn't start getting into Yu-Gi-Oh until I was like 17. Like I played Magic the Gathering in elementary school.
Oh,
Crazy to think there was a point in time when I played Yu-Gi-Oh because it was less complicated than Magic the Gathering.
wow. And nowadays, Yu-Gi-Oh is basically a goddamn algebra equation per turn.
Yeah, if it weren't for like, I probably never would have learned links and pendulums as it wasn't for Link Evolution.
Yeah, same. I mean, I've played through Link Evolution, so I actually was doing multiple challenge runs of Link Evolution on my own time, where I would like do a I would do three different kinds of runs. I would do a run where I could play three of any card, a run where I would go by the traditional list, and a run that where I would go by the ban list in the game. And I would do that for each of the campaign mode and the challenge mode for each, and I would do one for progression rules and one for chaos draft rules. And that's why I played like Link Evolution for fucking ever for the last year. And I want to get back into Master Duel now that I've actually completed that challenge, but
Like one of my favorite things to do in Master Duel is like, I mean not Master Duel, Link Evolution. I like to like build myself a deck for an anime character, and like just put that deck in a gauntlet against like specific series. Like, can I solo Arc 5 with the Jaden deck? The answer is yes.
I imagine you can if it's a good enough Jaden deck.
I was using the Supreme King Jaden deck, where like he had like Dark Fusion. Though with some anime characters, I have to like take liberties with their decks because like there's a lot of them whose cards aren't even printed.
All right, I'm fucking stuck again, just rubbing against this sign. What the fuck is going on? Why do I keep having this issue?
Stop raping the sign. It doesn't consent. You there?
No, yeah, I am. I'm just literally unironically gonna fucking save the game so that I can go out of it and back in.
Alright, sounds good. May you hump in that sign, bruh. I'm starting to get to that point of drunk where I'm like getting tired. Like, you know, I'm
No,
like,
I've heard you yawn a few times, so I know that that's happening.
I don't know why. Speaking of yawning, when I start getting like really drunk, like I get tired. I'm thinking like even if I'm like fully rested, I think it's like my brain's natural defense against hangovers.
Yeah, I feel the
Like
same way actually.
I've gotten so experienced at drinking that my body has like started to subconsciously combat hangovers.
Same,
It only
except
works.
for me, it's like my body can't stand anything that involves vomiting. Like, I'm so scared of vomiting that I had a stomach flu when I was in sixth grade, and I didn't vomit ever again after that until I was like twice that age.
That kind of remind like I still threw up after it. Like I had like trauma with throwing up. It's like one time when I was like 8 for Halloween. I didn't know it, but I had a flu. And like I was dressed up as a Frankenstein. I had like a skin tight rubber mask, like super high quality. Like I said, didn't know I had the flu. On the way to the neighborhood we trick or treated at, we went to like one of them rich neighborhoods that they always have the best candy. But like on the way there, I threw up with my mask on, and like I got puke in my eyes, and it was not fun.
Jesus
It was like a
Christ.
it was like a skin tight mask,
God damn. That's
and
horrible.
like to this day, there's still like a burn scar on like my left eye. You can't really see it though because like I have to like roll my eye up to see it to like reveal it, and like I don't want to do that.
Has your wife ever been like, honey, what's that scar on your eye? Oh, it's from when I vomited on my own eyeball as a young child during Halloween. What the fuck?
I also had like H. pylori as a kid, so I threw up so much.
H. pylori? What the hell is that?
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Let me fucking Google it. It's like something where like the bacteria lining in your stomach is fucked up. Yeah, H. pylori. I just googled it. It's short for Helicobacter pylori. H. pylori, most commonly known as Campylobacter pylori, is a gram-negative microphilic spiral bacteria usually found in the stomach. Its helical shape is thought to have evolved in order to penetrate the mucoid, well, fuck these science words when I'm drunk, lining of the stomach and thereby establish infection. So basically, it like gets through the bacteria and mucus that protects your stomach walls and like gets you infected and makes you throw up a lot.
So, in other words,
And
the
like
disease of my worst nightmares.
it would like make you throw up even if your body was completely out of like a both content and bile, and it would just come out as like a spit foam.
My God. It's worse than I thought, and I thought it was the worst. Oh, come on. The first fucking Pokemon I fight with my Growlithe, and it immediately whirlwinds me. Fuck this game.
And like when you were out of like spit foam, you would just be dry heaving. Like nothing could be coming out, but you'd be doing the muscular motions of throwing up.
Ew.
It's like you would feel like you were throwing up when there was nothing left to throw up. It was hell. And I had it between ages 5 and 8 because like uh H. pylori is one of those things that can only be treated with a method that like is legally not allowed until you're at least age 8.
Shit. Well, we would like to help you treat your horrific disease, but that's going to involve killing you unless you're 8 or older. So have fun throwing up for the next 3 years, Junior.
That's like a scientific reason why certain procedures you can only do once you hit age 8, but I don't fucking know them. I just know that they exist.
Yeah.
Like I think around that time is like when a certain part of your body's constitution starts to activate. I think. I don't actually know though.
I don't know anything. I'm not making fun of you. I literally don't know anything.
Was 9 plus 10?
19.
No, it's 21. Get it? Dead meme. Ah, please laugh.
That's a meme? It
Yeah,
just...
there was like a meme on Vine a few years ago where like a dude was like talking to his little brother. And he's like, "You stupid," and the kid's like, "No, we're not." Then the brother's like, "Was 9 plus 10?" And the kid's like, 21. Then the brother says again, "You stupid."
Man, that I'll tell you what though, that kid should be in charge of our alcohol and cigarette laws, because if they were, then they would be much closer to correct than they are now.
Is this so funny to me? Oh god.
Are you okay?
I just got hit with like some heartburn.
Take you
I
an
hate heartburn.
Take you an Alka-Seltzer.
This is what I get for drinking without pretzels present. Whenever I drink heavy, I usually have like pretzels.
That sounds
Like,
delicious.
like hard pretzels are a lot better at stopping acid reflux than like bread is. Fun fact. So it has to be unsalted pretzels. Because like salted hard pretzels, the salt counteracts the anti-acidic quality.
Alright. Well, I just topped my Growlithe flamethrower and it's still got 2 levels to go. I'm gonna go get another beer.
I think I'm gonna head off.
Oh, okay then. It was good talking to you. You go ahead and
Nice.
take you a nap.
I'm just getting to the point where I'm like dozing.
Hey, you don't need to provide me with an excuse. Just head on out.
Oh, it's not an excuse. I'm like actually dozing. Like when I go silent, I say it's because I'm like spacing out, but in reality, it's just me like quickly falling asleep, then waking up.
Okay.
All right, so talk to you later.
Alright, see you probably next Friday.
All right, see you then.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck do I close it? I open the Discord, and the first thing I see is Mountain Dew hot dogs. What the fuck? Alright, bye.
Alright, bye-bye. Alright, is this me in the game from here on out? So let's see. Okay. Basically, I got a Growlithe that needs 2 more levels. And then once I do that, I am done grinding. Okay, I'm going to have to swap out this Pokemon for this Pokemon, because it's got a move that actually affects this Pokemon positively. And by positively, I mean negatively. But negatively works out in my favor. And also, it's time to take a drink. I don't know when or if I'm going to be able to evolve this Growlithe. It's probably a giant mistake to use this thing in the first place, but hey, fuck it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a Firestone. Maybe one of these times I will find a Firestone in one of these fucking towns. Oh god. Trying really hard to keep my thumb off of the trackpad, because I think that's what's causing these interruptions in movement. Alright. Flamethrower. And reversal. And it's already time to go back and heal again. Great. I might as well just keep this fucking thing on the EXP share. I mean, I'm not going to, but I might as well. Now that's more like it. Can I get like 20 more Cacnea? Kecleon's not quite Cacnea. But it'll do in a pinch. Okay, and this thing I'm just going to outright switch into Mudflaps. That's a drink. So close, yet so far away. Making some considerable progress. God damn it, you fucking bitch. Fuck out of my fucking way. Once again, a job for Mudflaps. And it's surf. Alright, this should be it. That is it. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the Pokemon Center, heal my team, and then that is gonna be the conclusion of the grinding session. I can finally start making progress again. Let me take a drink. I'll save one more time just for the record. And then I'm going to save a state. Alright, and that's it for that. Okay. Let's go see what's going on this half of Kenniclave City. Sure, let's go to Iron Island. I mean, why the fuck not, bro? Yeah, okay, that's great. I'm on the TV. Ooh, okay. Strength TM. I'm actually unironically happy about that. Well, you got a first encounter for me here on Iron Island? Here, I'm just gonna go collect items until I get one. First encounter is literally the evolved form of the fucking Pokemon that I currently have on my team. Holy shit. That's amazing. Okay, also, here, I'm gonna go ahead and use Spludge on you. And you use fucking Roar. Well, there goes that fucking encounter. Bunch of fucking horse shit. Alright, so how the fuck am I supposed to get across here? Oh, okay, this way. Yeah, I need to I need to re-add battle animations. Oh, hey, Metapod. Here, I'll go ahead and switch into Scalia since Metapod is so harmless. Pretty much any harmless Pokemon I'm going to switch Growlithe into until I can find me a fucking Firestone. Oh my fucking god, are you serious? That is literally the item I was just talking about I needed. The game heard me. This game's fucking haunted, dude. Yeah, put it on Scalia. And then I'm gonna take my 3. And if you think I ain't gonna save a state here, you're sorely fucking mistaken. Don't mind me just pouring my 3 drinks. Down the hatch. Excuse me. Here. I'm gonna save it one more time just to be an asshole. A super careful asshole, but nonetheless an asshole. Alright, so what's on this side of the island? Okay, I think I kind of finally figured that out. Oh shit, a single level 37 Dialga. And that just my fucking luck. Okay, fuck it. I give up. I give up. I can't fucking control the game like this. Here, after this fucking battle, I'm just gonna stop the stream. Well, good night, everybody. I'll see you again when I have a team.